Hello world and welcome back to another episode of Immersive Engineering, where today we're going to be covering all about the Railgun. The Railgun is one of the final tools and weapons that you can get inside of Immersive Engineering, and is made very simply with a HV capacitor, 2 electrum coils, 2 steel ingots, 1 circuit black backplate and a wooden grip. By itself, when you have the Railgun, you will see if you hover over it in your inventory, you will have 8,000 flux being able to store it inside of this. But in order to get the flux, you're first going to need something to charge it. For this, we're going to use the charging station, which is from Immersive Engineering. It's going to require 1 LV wire connector, 2 iron ingots, 3 pieces of glass, 1 copper coil, and 2 treated wood planks. We're powering our charging station using a creative capacitor, and on the charging station itself, it can accept power from the bottom like this one here, as well as the back. So let's place our railgun inside and it will start charging. With the charger, you'll notice it's very quick with the railgun, but it will go from red all the way to green, and once it's fully charged, all 3 of these Nixie tubes will be glowing like this. So right click to take it out, and now we have our railgun. But you'll notice that you can't actually fire anything with this. If I hold down right click, nothing actually happens. That's because you actually need to have ammunition still for the railgun. It doesn't just fire a laser beam. The railgun can fire many different things, mainly rods. You can fire iron rods, aluminium rods, or steel rods, and if you want to get really expensive, you can also fire graphite electrodes. As well as that, you can also fire saw blades and tridents. Saw blades and tridents you will be able to pick up once again after you have fired them. Now let's test this out on a handful of pigs. Now you see in the right hand corner down here that we are loaded with iron rods, and now if we hold down right click, we wait until it charges up to 99 and then release. This will fire our 1 iron rod away and it instantly kills our pig. Now you can also change the ammunition type. If you hold shift and scroll, you can see that we're now going to be firing with the saw blade. If you do the same thing again and fire at this pig, it will go through the pig, and then you can actually pick up your saw blade once again and some durability will be lost. Lastly, you have the trident. Now the trident is something else you can throw, but it does a lot less distance. It seems to be a lot heavier weapon, so it can't go nearly as far. As you can see, it doesn't even reach the pig there when I aim directly at them. And as you can see, after picking it up, we have lost durability with the trident as well. By default, especially if you're using some type of rod, you can actually fire this very far away, but as you can probably maybe narrowly see, there is a tiny amount of drop and the rods do not actually go perfectly onto your reticle. But luckily there are some attachments that you can put onto the railgun to improve how it works. Starting with the advanced heatsink. This is using 3 constant tan plates down the center and 2 steel ingots, and this will give you your heatsink. The heatsink is going to reduce our charge time on the railgun, and then also we have our precision scope. We covered the precision scope as it's needed in order to make the revolver. This is going to require 2 iron plates, 2 glass panes, and 2 copper ingots to give us our scope. And the scope is probably going to do as you guessed, it allows us to actually zoom with our railgun. Now if we go into our engineer's workbench here, we can put our railgun inside, we can put our heatsink in, and our precision scope, and of course you can apply a shader. Now if we try and charge it up, we can see that it's a heck of a lot faster. And if we middle mouse click, we can now go into our scope, which we can zoom up to 10 times. Although of course this is going to be a lot more sensitive now, but we can now charge up a hell of a lot more, except I've run out of power. To combat running out of power, we should make something called a Capacitor Backpack. This is going to require 1 LV capacitor, 2 LV wire coils, 1 LV wire connector, and 2 pieces of leather to give us our backpack. The backpack can store up to 100,000 flux in energy, and we can just throw this simply in our charging station, and this will give us a better demonstration of how the charging works. As you see, it slowly goes from red to orange to green, and when it's fully complete, it will start flashing red again. Sorry, flashing green again. Now we have our capacity backpack all charged up, but by default it will not actually charge any of our tools until we actually equip it onto our back, and then it will start charging everything that's in our hands. Only in our hands or off hands. It won't just passively charge anything in our inventory. But now to demonstrate the scope again, we charge up, and now we can fire on these pigs a little bit more accurately. As you can see, there is quite a lot of drop and it doesn't always go accurately. Perfect shot. 1 tapped. Something else that is cool about your Capacity Backpack is that it can be placed in your bauble slots in the backpack section, allowing you to wear armor. However, with the Capacity Backpack itself, you can actually combine it with armor. For us, we're going to be using an iron chestplate. If we take our iron chestplate and our Capacity Backpack, you will see that the iron chestplate now has a Capacity Backpack attached to it, which we can now take off and then attach. And then if we go into F5, we can see that it's still on our back. This allows us to keep a backpack space open for any other type of backpack mods you have. Now, the only annoying thing about the iron chestplate with the Capacity Backpack is that you cannot place it back into our charging station, as it just always equips your item back. However, inside your inventory, you can get the iron chest black, and it will give you your energy backpack, which you can then put back into charge, and then put them back together again. Now, just as a little bonus here right off the bat, I want to show off one more item today, and that is the maintenance kit. This is going to require engineer wire cutters, engineer screwdriver, and 3 tough fabrics. Now, when you actually craft these, it is going to consume your tools, as you see here. Now, the cool thing about the maintenance kit is if you right click, you can now place any item that can be modified inside the engineer's workbench inside of it, and then you can actually replace your attachments on the go. This works as well for things like the mining drill and buzz door when you want to replace the saws or drill heads. As well as that, you can also do the revolver and the chemical thrower if you so wish. But for now, guys, that is everything when it comes to the railgun inside of Immersive Engineering, and there is not many more things left to cover inside of this mod. I'm going to be throwing up a poll on the community tab to see what mod we are going to be covering next, so head over there in order to vote on what we should cover. But if this video helps you out in any way, shape or form, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It would really help me out, and ring the bell button to stay notified when these videos go live. But if you want to learn more about other weaponry inside of Immersive Engineering, then click the revolver video on screen now, and until next time, guys, take care.